This video has been brought to you by the Safe at Home Manitoba program. Hi, I'm Rebecca and I'm a registered dietitian, and it's spring and the days are getting brighter and the temperatures are warming up and we're spending more time outdoors. And speaking of the outdoors, the recipe that we're going to make today can either be made inside if it's a cold, rainy spring day to warm you up, or outside over a bonfire. So if you're looking for an activity and thinking of having a bonfire, gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches and roasted asparagus is a great supper to make over a toasty warm fire. And the type of grilled cheese sandwich we're going to make today is a pesto and red pepper jelly with chicken and grilled brie cheese, and it's delicious. So what you're going to need is 4 slices of bread. I like to use a fresh, soft whole wheat bread, but you can also use an artisan bread instead. You'll need 3 ounces of shredded chicken. You can use a rotisserie chicken or leftover chicken to save yourself some time. 4 tablespoons of pesto, about 2 tablespoons of red pepper jelly, about 2 tablespoons of soft butter to spread over the bread, as well as 5 ounces of brie cheese. For our roasted asparagus, you're going to need 1 or 2 bunches of fresh asparagus, some olive oil to drizzle, and I like to use a flavored olive oil. Pesto flavored is my favorite. You can use plain olive oil as well. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper to sprinkle on, and you can also use some optional spices. You can see the show notes for which options there are. Now, pause the video until you've gathered everything that you need. We're going to start with our asparagus. If you're making it indoors, preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. If you're making it outdoors, we'll prep it inside first and go light a fire later. We'll start by cutting off 1 to 2 inches off the bottoms of our asparagus to get rid of those woody pieces. And if there's a few extra with white pieces, we can remove those as well. Put this in some tin foil, drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, sprinkle with a little bit of salt. Perfect. I'm going to wrap this one up. And this one is going to be for the grill. Just one more time and show you how to make asparagus inside. Now, asparagus is my favorite spring vegetable, but it wasn't always my favorite. When I was growing up, my mom would only ever serve asparagus boiled. And Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, I really didn't like it. I still don't, actually. For everyone else watching, imagine if you took a steak, boiled it, and slapped it on a plate without seasoning at all. Makes sense that we enjoy meat when we braise, poach, roast, tenderize, marinate, smoke, or barbecue meat. We take a lot of time to add flavor so it tastes good. Now, if you just boiled asparagus, it might not taste as good as when you put all that effort into making the meat taste good. But if you like boiled asparagus, great. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're like me and you want your vegetables to taste good to you, we need to take some time to add some flavor. Now, you can start with vegetables that are in season as one of the best ways to add some flavor. And spring is prime season for asparagus. So these are the ones that we'll put in the oven. Now set your timer for about 10 minutes. We'll check it. I like roasting mine until the tips are crispy and crunchy. It's a great texture. Might take about 15 minutes to get that way. For our gourmet grilled cheese, heat a non-stick pan over the stove or a griddle to medium heat. We're going to use room temperature butter to butter the outsides of our bread. I'll make sure it's nice and soft so it spreads easy. Now, these sandwiches are deceptively simple and still pack an amazing amount of flavor. Make sure every square inch has some butter on it. Next, we're going to put some red pepper jelly onto one of the pieces of bread. pesto. You can make fresh pesto if you want. It's a lot of work though. It's delicious. I'm using store-bought pesto instead this time. Okay, now we'll add our brie cheese. Cover the whole piece of bread with cheese. And then shredded chicken. Perfect. Put that together. And then onto the grill for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's golden brown and the cheese is nice and melty. I'm also going to show you guys how to cook one of these sandwiches over the fire. Everything else is the same.
Okay, quick review, and then you'll have this delicious gourmet grilled cheese recipe memorized. Butter both slices of the bread, and then flip the bread over. Red pepper jelly on one slice of the bread, and pesto on the other slice of bread. Get some brie cheese and completely cover one of the slices of bread with the cheese. It doesn't matter which slice. And don't forget to flip your sandwich after about 1.5 minutes of cooking. Get some shredded chicken and put the shredded chicken on top of the brie cheese instead of on the other slice. That way when you put it together, it doesn't fall apart. And you're done.
I like to wrap it in the tin foil first. My pie irons have seen better days. They still work good though, but the tin foil just makes cooking a lot easier. Wrap that up. And I'm going to sandwich that into my pie iron. Literally sandwich it in. And this one is ready to go over the fire. And my asparagus, I'm also going to put in this one that can be used for salmon or corn cobs. Just tucks nicely in. I left it in the full spears so that it'll stay in this one nicer. If you don't have one of these, you can also cook this in a campfire iron. Cut the asparagus into smaller pieces and it'll fit in nicely. All right, my grilled cheese is done. Got some crispy cheese hanging off of it. It's delicious. And my asparagus also just came out of the oven. So I love when my asparagus has these nice little crispy tips and is a bit brown on top. It took about 15 minutes of cooking my asparagus at 425 degrees Fahrenheit and about 2 minutes of broiling to get those nice crispy tips, and I think it's perfect. Hope you guys enjoy my favorite gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches, and we'll see you next time. This video has been made in partnership with the RM of La Broquerie Leisure Services.